Hey guys, Roman Eating Reaper here, just outside the cinema right now. As you can see, I'm about to head in for a cinema double bill. Yep, fourth one. I love doing these are a lot of fun. And this time around, it's kind of a different one. It's both of the major releases of the week here in the UK. So I'm kicking off double bill with Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, and then seeing Knock at the Cabin right afterwards. Looking forward to seeing both of these. Both of them look good, especially Puss. I'm really excited for that after all the buzz that it's been receiving stateside. So I'm not going to waste too much time. I'm going to head in, get my snack, get my seat, and get ready for part number 1 of double bill Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. Small popcorn here and a frozen Fanta, ready for the return of the Shrek universe. Here we go. So yeah, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. By now you've heard all the buzz around it. It's been getting everyone and their dog has been praising it stateside, and it's finally come out here in the UK this weekend, riding that wave of buzz. And well, don't live up to it. Let's find out. So Puss in Boots has used up 8 of his 9 lives, and he teams up with his old accomplice Kitty Softpaws and a relentlessly optimistic dog named Perito to seek out the legendary wishing star and get all his lives back. However, it's not going to be easy. It's hot on his tail. If Goldilocks and 3 bears, Jack Horner, and Death himself. So the trailers gave us this, promised us this, like really stylized, vibrant, and energetic art style, not too dissimilar to like Into the Spider-Verse, which brought the pages of a Marvel comic book to life. This does the same thing. It looks gorgeous. It is vibrant, energetic, stylized. But the Spanish setting gives it like a fresh vibe. It's like more of a folklore tale being brought to life in a way, because it's not just Spider-Verse by numbers. It looks stunning, and it uses the reduced frame rate thing in the fight scenes brilliantly. It is genuinely thrilling, and little bursts of colour on impact and like visible motion lines. It's peak. Like your move across the Spider-Verse, like just saying. And it's not just a really stylish film. It's a genuinely like mature and like weighty story. Like imagine the style of Spider-Verse mixed with like the real weight and maturity of Logan as probably the vibe you're getting for in a family-friendly film, and it works really well. The emotional moments hit real weight and explores themes of like mortality in genuinely mature ways. And I mentioned it's very funny. It's very funny that Antonio Banderas, great as ever as Puss, and he's matched nicely by Salma Hayek as returning as Kitty Softpaws. And this time around they're joined by Harvey Guillermo from What We Do in the Shadows as Perito. And see, the thing is with him, he should have been so annoying, but he's so lovable and so funny. But every scene he's in, and radiating this positive energy. He's just so infectious and really, really funny. Like, it's a much different role from Guillermo, let me just say. It's got a really stellar supporting cast as well. The Three Bears crime family, led by Florence Pugh's Goldilocks, gives us some of the best jokes. John Mulaney as Jack Horner is a delightfully hissable villain. A standout far and away though is Wagner Moura as Death. He's a proper badass, genuinely chilling. Like, he's brilliant. And all of this just makes for a really, really fun, exciting, funny, heartfelt, jaw-dropping, gorgeous story. Brilliant, brilliant film. It deserves the hype. Although I will say, some threads, particularly the backstory for the Goldilocks and the Three Bears crime family, is a little underdeveloped. It is like explored, but it's sort of like done quite quickly to get to the final showdown at the end. But overall, this is a bloody brilliant film. Perhaps one of the best animated films. Perhaps the best animated film since Into the Spider-Verse. I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. So yeah, that's Puss in Boots down. I really loved it. And now time for part 2 of the double bill. M. Night Shyamalan's Knock at the Cabin. So yeah, back from the double bill and Knock at the Cabin. This is the latest film from M. Night Shyamalan. He needs no introduction. He's, even in this comeback era of his, Split, The Visit, Glass, Old, he still does what he does best of of actively splitting audiences right down the middle. You either love his style of filmmaking or hate it, but fair play to him. He does what he does, and you gotta commend him for just flying ahead with his style. And obviously, this is no different seeing the reception to this film. But which end of the scale do I fall under? Let's find out. So, the film sees Eric and Andrew, a gay couple, take their adopted daughter Wen to a secluded cabin in the woods with scenic lakeside view for a nice little family getaway. Their peace is short-lived, however, when 4 strangers carrying homemade medieval weapons break into the cabin and tell them that they have to choose one of them to be sacrificed, or the apocalypse will happen. All of humanity will end, and giving the simple rules of they can't kill themselves, and the 4 can't choose for them. Are they bluffing, or are they real? So, Knock at the Cabin, as I said, has been met with that usual divisive M. Night Shyamalan reception. No matter what he does, he just can't shake it. And I would genuinely be surprised if his next film ends up with a high 90s Rotten Tomatoes score. Like, I will eat my hat, but you know what? Knock at the Cabin, I really enjoyed it. This is just, M. Night doing what he does best. This is good M. Night. And this is an extremely compelling, are they bluffing or are they not? So it's a really, solidly contained film, which really helps build this, tense atmosphere. Although, don't go in expecting just a straight up, home invasion, horror thriller kind of film. This is more of an end of days drama with plenty of moments of heightened suspense, and And it's these moments coupled with the constant are they bluffing or are they not nature of the premise. You know, it keeps you on your toes from beginning to end, and it's just a solidly captivating film. And all of that is sold wonderfully by a bumper crop of great performances. Got Jonathan Groff and Ben Aldridge as Eric and Andrew, and their relationship is charming, and you really buy into their relationship with each other and with their daughter Wen, and it's really compelling to see their differing views on this threat that they face, and how that tests them as a couple. It's it's really interesting stuff, and it's explored wonderfully. And the four strangers are also performed really well. Their leader is played by Dave Bautista, who, of the wrestlers turned actors, he's made the best of it. He's been a genuinely fantastic actor with real range, and that's no different here. He has this real gentle giant personality. Despite his hulking figure, he never intends to be threatening or never wants to intimidate, because in a way he wants to almost make it more reassuring for the couple when they inevitably have to make the choice. And his followers as well are all really good. You got Nikki Bird and Abby Quinn, and they have this obviously sort of fear about them, with the possible apocalypse looming inevitably, and but they're also real sympathetic figures. And Rupert Grint gives off this just really brilliant, like just paranoid vibe about him. And he's wonderful. This is not the Ron Weasley, But, um, obviously it's not all perfect. The times there is that that trademark M Night Shyamalan ropey dialogue, and the actors are all obviously giving good performances, so they do the best they can with with some of the questionable material they have to work with. Like, this is just a staple of his films at this point. And obviously, considering how unique the premise and tone of it is, it's it can't help dipping its toes into cliches that, particularly in regards to flashbacks of Eric and Andrew's relationship, them experiencing homophobic abuse at the bar, and the scene where they meet the parents, and they're not quite accepting of what they are. It's stuff you've seen countless times before with LGBT love stories before. And I'm gonna say it, M Night's cameo here is hilarious. It's brief, but it's so out of place. It's really funny. But that being said, the film does bring itself back, thanks to gorgeous cinematography, utilize the natural countryside scenery, and of course, M Night's become a bit of a fan of tilting camera angles, and they give the film real style and real panache. And the film, all of this is carried through with a wonderfully downbeat tone. That this is not a crowd pleasing film. It's consistently bleak, and it pays off with a genuinely powerful ending that actually hit me quite hard. The lack of trademark M Night twist, without spoiling anything, will most likely be disappointing to some, but the ending they went with here actually worked really, really well. It's yeah, this is M. Night possibly at his best. This is a really, really good film. Definitely go and see this on the big screen. It is well worth the experience. And overall, I'm kind of struggling on my rating for this film. I'm not sure whether to give it a 7.5 out of 10 or an 8 out of 10. Actually, no, fuck it. 8 out of 10. That's just because the film genuinely hit me in ways that I wasn't expecting, so it gets that extra half a point. It's really good. And yeah, let me know down in the comments. Have you seen Puss in Boots? Have you seen Knock at the Cabin? What did you think of both of these? What did you think of the animation of Puss in Boots? Would you like to see more installments in the Shrek verse animated like this? And which side of the coin do you land on in regards to Knock at the Cabin and M. Night's filmmaking as a whole? Let me know down in the comments. Don't forget the thumbs up button if you enjoyed. Don't forget the subscribe button if you're new, and don't forget to turn on post notifications so you don't miss an upload.